Welcome to the We Get to Do This podcast. My name is Kailee.
And I'm Jacob.
And we are your co-hosts.
In this show, we're going to dive into all things our lives, from our partnership to romance to entrepreneurship to growing our businesses together, our fitness journeys, and we're going to have a ton of different guests on that relate to what I just said in some way. We're hoping you enjoy the show, and if you do,
please feel free to follow us, leave us a 5-star review on wherever you listen to your podcasts, and enjoy.
And if you don't like the show, tough. Thank you.
Yay. It's a Kailee Jacob episode.
It's like we haven't recorded one in a while.
We've not. We've had tons of guests that we've been stocking up lately because if you haven't heard, we're getting married in like a month.
Yeah, 31 days. She hasn't said no yet.
Yet.
Someone at class yesterday, I don't remember exactly how it went, but someone was like, "I hear you're getting married," and I was like, "Yeah, in 31 days." Someone else in the class was like, "Well, that's if she says yes at like the altar," that's what they were referring to. And then I was like, "I mean, I hope she says yes." And they're like, "You never know."
You don't ever know.
They were like, they used the famous person as example. Was a football player, Dak Prescott. They were like, Dak Prescott thought he was marrying the love of his life, and then she left him at the altar. And I was like, thanks for the pep talk.
Sad. No, I just said the other day, okay. I really like the show Love is Blind, and that's all I can think about is, I think I was asking you the other day too, like, do you think you'll say yes?
Sad. Yeah, people, come on.
Because
I hope so. That's the plan.
If you haven't watched Love is Blind, like, a lot of you will get to the wedding and then you still don't know if they're going to say yes or not. Everyone's kind of like on the edge of their chair, just like waiting to hear if they say yes or no.
Yeah, if I'm going to go get all the way to that point, I'm going to say yes.
People say no, though.
Really?
Like, how do you... I don't understand. Like, if you truly don't know by that point, like, yeah, shouldn't you have just not gotten there? But I've never been on Love is Blind, and probably won't ever be since, I'm getting married now. So I will never have that experience. But
it's if I say yes.
If you say yes.
You don't know. Dak Prescott, you got left at the altar.
Jacob, do you take Kailee to be your forever bride?
Yes.
And then there's like a 30-second pause.
Easy
and everyone's
answer.
just sweating.
No, there's not going to be a pause. It's an easy answer.
Do you want to practice your vows right now?
Yeah. Kailee, I vow that for the rest of my life.
Okay, let's wait. Yeah.
10 updates, 90 episodes. We're at 90 episodes, which means hopefully in 10 episodes, we're going to maybe do a live for our 100th episode. I'm saying it here because I'm trying to convince Kailee and myself to make this happen, but we're running out of time to set it up. So,
and we just have a few other things going on in our life right now.
We'll see if that actually happens
today.
But yeah, if you think a live episode would be cool, if you can do a live episode, maybe like a group run and then a little Q&A afterwards for the 100th episode where we talk about something in front of people / answer questions, that'd be pretty cool. And we'll see if that happens. So for 90 though, today we're going to talk about 10 life updates, but we picked 5 together that we're going to give updates from each perspective on. So technically it's 5 updates where you get a perspective from each of us because our life updates are kind of the same right now. Yeah.
And we haven't talked about this stuff in a little bit.
Yeah. So we're giving a little update on what's been going on with us. Did I hit it?
You hit that.
Did.
You hit the nail on the head,
nice.
Partner.
Good.
Let's start with Jacob's racing. The people
right away
would like to hear about you. And I hear you had kind of a big moment this last weekend. So I'd love walk us through the build-up, the mental preparation, the physical preparation, what got you to that start line, and then what got you to that finish line with the big W.
Wow.
Bring us along on this journey, please. We've been
That was wild.
waiting.
So yeah, fitness update. I've set 2 pretty wicked PRs this spring, which I'm very excited about. I raced the Wild River Browns Creek 8K roughly 3 weeks ago and PR'd my 8K by like 2 minutes.
Dang.
I was able to hold a 6:07 average pace. Now, it is a very downhill course. So in my mind, I was like, it doesn't really count, even though I know that's not true. But, I am an athlete at heart.
Counts.
So I'm telling myself it doesn't count. Right. But I came off of it and was like, man, I feel really, really good. Now I need to go do something that counts. Again, this is the athlete brain of mine talking and saying I need to go like prove fitness elsewhere. Right. So then I decided to sign up for Getting Gear the Monday before, which is a half marathon in Minneapolis. And I was texting Matt. I'm like, dude, I think I can hold 6:30 pace right now. I say we just go say F it and send it. Let's go run a 1:25. I truly think I can do it. Let's try. And he said, sweet. So and he's like, I think you totally can. And he put in my final surge, the game plan, 125 or bust. That was all. That was the game plan. So yeah, that was cool. And it was one of those races where I don't know, the first 3 miles were really, really hard. And then like miles 4 through 8, I was like, this could happen. And then at like mile 10, I knew it was going to happen, which is a good feeling knowing that
How'd you
like,
know?
I think you hit certain points in races in every distance where if you make it to that point, you can make it the rest. And I think with Getting Gear actually, and the way that course is set up is that the first 3 miles are the hardest because you're going uphill. So the pace our goal was to average 6:30. That was the goal. It wasn't like that would put you at 125 mid, which depending on how you run the tangents or whatever, should make sure you're under 126. So that was the goal. It wasn't like a 125.30 as the goal, 125.40, nothing like that. It was split 6:30s across. So when you start up at a slight uphill for 3 miles and 6:30 feels like you're running like 6:15 pace, it's pretty scary and you get in your head a lot and you kind of back off on pace and just things like that. And then those next like 5 to 6 really where let's take this 1 mile at a time, like just, keep ripping a mile at don't think about getting to 13 right now, think about getting to the next mile and just kind of stay with the pack that you're in, things like that, and stay smart. And things started to feel like sometimes better. It came in waves, sometimes worse. And then, yeah, it kind of got to the steep hill at 10, which is right by St. Thomas, if you're familiar with the course, and was surging up it, which is another thing that props to Matt and the way he's been training with hills. Like the hills did not feel like a factor in this one and it's a pretty hilly course. But yeah, and then I was getting up that, like, as I was going up that, I was like, yeah, I got this. Like, if I just, knowing that at the other end of that was a downhill and then used to keep holding the 6:30 because I had banked a little bit of time. I was like, if you just like run 6:30, you're going to do this. So, yeah, does that answer that
How'd you feel at
question?
the end?
Stoked. Yeah, super stoked. I went up to a bunch of people and was like, pretty like freaking out about it. And I mean, for me, this was a, been a big unlock because like for the last kind of year, I've been kind of settling in a way with fitness of just like, I don't think I need to get faster slash I don't think I can get faster, things like that. And then the 8K running like 6:07 pace and then this running 6:30. And now I'm like, man, that makes like, if you can run a 125 half marathon by all really, assuming everything goes according to plan, you should be able to break 3 in the marathon. Like all of my PRs now line up to now I just have to go start doing attempts at it. So I think that's cool because like the confidence is now there for me, like where I'm like, yeah, okay, I can run 650 for 3 hours. So I think it was like that, which I'm trying to sit in this too, but yeah, and especially after the last 2 half marathons where I tried to do this and I didn't get it, which, a lot of times we look at only the finishing, the factor and we don't pay attention as much to like, grandmas when I ran like over 90 minutes when I was trying to go 125. It's a huge difference at that point. It's like 30, 25 seconds per mile different. Or in Kiowa when I was trying to go 630 and fell off the pace of it too, and went like 127, so it's closer. I got a PR there, but it wasn't what I wanted. Um, so now being like I did it, and yeah,
This
and
was a
so
2-minute PR?
it was like a minute and a half. Yeah,
Wow,
two, yeah,
that's huge.
yeah. It was like
It's crazy.
huge, and I also have been not running as much too. But I'm like staying very active, and I'm doing more speed. So I think that's been a big part of it where I a few big changes in my training is I've been running with Twin Cities Track Club on Monday, who they're all really fast. The people I've been running with at that in retrospect, I think they're fast. And like we'll do a lot of easy mile with some of the people I've been running with there. We've been doing a lot of easy miles at like 8 where we'll be rolling like 750s, which for me is like that's not easy. So that has been a huge unlock in training. Where on like Monday nights, right away we go rip like 8 miles at 8 flat average, 8 to 820 average at the end of it. And like just like showing that I can do that. And then usually there's a big speed workout on Tuesday, and then usually there's another speed workout on Thursday. And it's just like, yeah, lots of speed. And then we've been swimming a lot. And
You've
I think,
been super consistent with swimming. I've been very impressed.
really?
You've been I think other than last week, you've been at least once a week, if not twice a week for months now.
Yeah, yeah. And last week we purposely didn't because of the
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
Yeah, but I've been trying to get at least 2,000, if not 3 to 4,000 yards every week, and usually you gotta do that in 2 sessions. And man, that with the speed work has drastically changed my like athlete ability right now. And then you mix in the stuff we've been doing with Zach, so I think it's just like, you know, um, kind of compounding effect of what has been there, but things are finally kind of starting to show, which has been fun, cool, rewarding. It's a good reminder of like, we go through this too, where the last like year and a half to 2 years, I haven't really, I know I like PR'd my marathon by, I think I PR'd it by 7 minutes, but like with the amount of training I was doing, that wasn't really like what I wanted. So to like kind of see finally, like after, really 3 years of kind of plateauing almost, I think, again, my opinion, where my half was like not really going down, my 5K, my 10K, I kept like hitting lulls there to like now setting a couple big PRs. Like, yeah, I'm stoked about it. And it's just a reminder too to like, yeah, keep going. Don't, if you're plateauing, that just probably means that you need to change something up a little bit. Um, and then, yeah, just the belief too in myself and like, I think I still think I struggle sometimes with like being such a larger runner in general. But like when I'm like, like getting gear, like looking around at the start line and being like, well, I'm like way taller and bigger than everyone here. And I think that gets in my mind. But what's been really cool in the past few years is that's changing. So I'm seeing people that are like running around me now that are like strong and taller and that are dusting me. That is like motivating me in a different way too, of like, like, oh, they can do it. I can do it too. Like we're all like, it's kind of like this rising tide, and people hate on like the hybrid athlete thing, but man, I think it's changing things for a real good reason. And I think that's also been like motivating me to show up and just be like, yeah, I can do this.
Mhm. And your body's not breaking down. You're just
Yeah. And
strong.
yeah. And I feel, yeah, I'm like consistently 200 pounds right now, but I feel so lean and like strong. Like I PR'd my bench press like 2 months ago. Remember that?
Mhm.
Just like randomly. I was like, what the heck? And that PR, that bench press PR was when I hit it, I was like 20 pounds heavier. So even, like I think the way I'm training right now and like the way I'm than training athletes. It's just like, again, changing, I'm constantly evolving, but I'm changing the way I think about it a lot. And I think it's fun.
We've been talking about sitting in your accomplishments and not just immediately jumping forward because you did have a kick-ass weekend. However, what are you looking at next? What are you thinking now?
So I have grandma's on the map or on the training map, and then Chisago 70.3, my first ever triathlon. Yeah, I'm starting at 70. Every time I say that to someone, they go, "Wow, you're starting at 70?" They don't want to start with an Olympic first or a sprint. It's crazy the amount of people that have said that to me. It reminds me so much of when I first did a marathon. Like, they just judge you. People judge you so hard for these types of things. And I'm like, not to sound super arrogant, people, but like, I'm not trying to like win this thing. I'm just trying to like do it. Like, and in my mind, I'm like, I can do a triathlon. Maybe not. We'll find out. But like, it's not like I'm trying to win it. I don't have any time goals. I'm going to show up. I'm going to swim, bike, and run. I've been swimming twice a week. That was another thing. People are like, "Do you realize you have to swim a mile?" And I'm like, it's like
Nope,
signing up for a marathon and being
I
like,
didn't.
"Do you realize you have to run 26 miles?" Yeah. Yeah. And I know what I signed up for. Anyways, and then I'm doing 100K, which apparently that's more acceptable to tell people. Tell people you're going to run 62 freaking miles. And people are like, nice, nice. Make that make sense. And then, but before that, I'm doing Twin Cities Marathon. So I have 4 other big things on the race schedule. Now, grandma's, I'm not racing, quote unquote, which I know can sometimes sound pretentious as well. I get that. I get that, but it's not like I don't have my goal on that one is to help Kailee PR, which is not to say that 3:30 is going to be easy for me, but I'm more focused on the try and
It's not
making
your
sure I can
race.
still run a 3:30 marathon is along the way. But my plan for that weekend is actually to make it a big javelina training weekend and do like 50 miles across like 4 days and do like 10 Friday, the marathon, and then 10 more on Sunday. So that's my plan for that.
How's it feel knowing that a 3:30 marathon is not like racing for you?
Yeah, we get to do this.
Sit back in that
Yeah,
for a
saying
second.
that is effed up. Yeah.
I did uh during my long run last weekend, I did a 2-hour half marathon, like, as part of my 17, and I hit the 2-hour mark, and I was like, "Wow." I used to work and, again, not this was still hard, it's not like this was an easy 13, but I was like, "Wow, that used to be my all-out max to do a 2-hour half marathon," and that was me gassed at the end, and I'm like and now I'm doing it during a training run. So, again, not bragging or anything, but it's just pretty cool to be able to look back and be like, "Wow, I've come a long ways."
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Well, and we like this is our lives. This is what like we do
yeah.
for a living, And I think too, what's interesting is I'll go run that, and I'll get a bunch of like comments on Strava and in person about like how amazing of a job I did, and it's just and again, like I'm running a marathon, so that is very impressive and amazing. But it goes to show you how much like people don't care about the time. They care about the accomplishment of what you are doing. So when we're like beating ourselves up about our times, it's just a good reminder of like if you're beating yourself up because of like an external thing, people do not do not pay that much attention to you. They pay very little attention to you. So, what are your fitness updates?
Training's going super well right now.
Yeah, it is.
Um, I
Flex on them.
honestly what?
Flex on them.
I didn't think I would ever be now I understand.
Like
A little
like
slow.
flex on them. You ever heard that?
No.
Like, yeah, I
Um,
did that. Oh, flex.
I'll do that after grandma's. Um, no, we have been
Well,
I'm feeling very strong recently too, so I can flex now.
yeah.
Can we start this over?
No, keep going. Keep the audience wants to hear this. We're not no.
Um, okay, I don't remember if I've shared on this, but so grandma's back in 20 I think I might have talked about this, but grandma's was my first marathon back in 2012. I just graduated high school. I did this with my mom, and she had done multiple marathons by this point, and it was one of those like, my longest training run was 8 miles before I did it, and she very much got me through that. I mean, it was, "Okay, Kaylee, we're gonna run for 20 seconds up to this stop sign," because by mile 16-ish, my body was completely done. We were broken down, joints hurt, body hurt, mind hurt. It was so hard, and after that, I was like, "I'm never gonna do the same marathon again." It wasn't even I'm never gonna do a marathon, but I said I was never gonna do the same one, and so this is my 5th or 6th marathon. However, this is the first one I've actually trained, like, gone through an actual training block for. And also, interestingly enough, the last couple of years watching you train for marathons and watching my friends train for races like grandma's, it's like, wow, that looks
Yeah, it's
terrible.
psychotic, isn't it? It's great.
It's like, you're gonna go do a 17-mile long run on the road this weekend. I was like,
Loser.
I'll be out on the trails. That sounds horrible. And here we are. I'm the loser.
We're kidding. We
I'm
both run
kidding.
tons of marathons. We do not think we're losers. Well, we are kind of weird though,
We're
but
weird.
we're
We're
losers.
definitely psychotic
Just
and
kidding.
weird,
We're
but
not losers. We're amazing.
definitely not losers. I'm actually having a blast. Turns out I really enjoy marathon training. We still have some time, but I'm actually truly enjoying it. And my ultra mindset, like physically, mentally, is definitely coming into huge play here. Um, as I said, I did a 17-mile long run last weekend, and that's the longest road training run I think I've ever done in my life. And I was super nervous going into it because I've also been doing all of my long runs with people. We've been having events and group things. I was really nervous because I had to do it on Friday because I was going to be at a conference all weekend. And as soon as I got out there, it was so much fun. I turned on an audiobook, I listened to some music because Noah Kahan's new album came out. It's a little too sad for my long runs, and I switched to the audiobook. Um, Weather was perfect, and yeah, that was very much a we get to do this moment. Like, I came out, I don't think I told you this, but I actually, like, teared up a little bit because I was at, like, such a runner's high after that, and I just felt so proud.
You did? Cute.
Yeah, I was, like, on top of the world. I feel really bad for people who say they've never gotten the runner's high before because it feels so good, and it turns out that I don't have to run 90 miles first to get the runner's high either. I can do 17 out on the road. So that's cool because that takes way less time than 90 miles of an ultra marathon. Um, yes, Jacob.
Why do you think you avoided the marathon for so long?
Intimidation. I I got into ultras because I was avoiding time. I was avoiding having to think about race times. And because I felt like I couldn't hit certain time accomplishments, I turned to distance accomplishments. So I think it was a defense mechanism, probably, along with not thinking that would be fun. I think I had gotten in my head from some people that I was around, about just like, I don't know, like not needing to train and just like, I don't know, different mindsets. And I don't know, I had a block for sure for the marathon. And because I did trail marathons and those were super fun, but I think I never had to worry about the time with those because people, for an ultra, you tell somebody that you did an ultra marathon and everyone's like, wow, whether that's a 50K, 50 mile, 100K, 100 mile, it's just, you don't have to like talk about the time. And I feel like with the marathon, I was in this mental block about the time. But now that I'm doing it, I mean, I feel like since we associate with a lot of runners, the time definitely comes up more, but also not even. It's usually more of, how's your training going? Wow, you're doing a marathon. Have you done a marathon before? And so yeah, I was in my own way. And I was also in my head, I thought that I didn't like running roads. And I liked the TC 10 mile. I've done Grandma's Half a lot. I thought those were a blast. But for some reason, anything over that like 18 mark, it was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know.
I was curious.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's just been a long like mental block. But and then yeah, seeing people's training of doing 20-mile long runs on the weekends sounded horrible, but then training for my ultras, I would do 5-hour long runs on the weekends. So, I don't know.
Oh, you're crushing it.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, same.
I'm really excited to see how it goes.
Me too. I wish I could look forward a couple months just to see what happens.
Yeah, because I really think the biggest thing for you, and I'm gonna say this, I've said this to you so many times, I'm gonna have it on camera too now, is you are going to succeed if you feel well. And if you don't feel well, you are not going to succeed. I think that's everyone obviously, but I think your biggest thing is going to be, did you feel well enough for the last 10K?
Mhm. But I think
It's
even
not going to be like a fitness thing. It's not like, I think you have the fitness where you can rip a sub 330.
but even coming from Javelina, I mean, that was a huge win. I was fueling
Yeah,
every half hour throughout that.
right.
This is different because I'm running the whole time, whereas for that, there would, be walking breaks in there. But this past weekend, I did every half hour, and that went great. So, I think it's just me telling myself, "Okay, you have to do every 30 minutes," and I also carried a handheld that had, um, the BPN, the GNM Sport calories in there too, so I'm planning on doing that also for grandma's, and
Good, good,
I
good.
came away I felt so good for the rest of the day, like, I wasn't even how you can tell if you haven't been fueling, you feel, like, exhausted, and I just wanna take a nap for the rest of the afternoon, and I didn't have that. So and that's I mean, yes, that's from training, but I think a lot of that was having enough electrolytes and eating enough before, during, and after, and I fueled well the day before. So, um, yeah, I feel I've been consistent with 2 days a week of strength training, been running, like, 5 days a week right now, which is also very fun because I
You're
used to
running
be the
so
2 to
much.
3 day a week person.
You're like 40 plus miles a week.
I'm consistently hitting 40-mile weeks, which again, I've never even I mean, for the 100 and 200, I was not doing this. I was more in, like, the low 30s for those.
And I do think
So,
it's important to point out that you have been prepping yourself for this for years.
yeah,
Because
long time.
again, people look and see like, oh, Kaylee's doing 40-mile weeks. I should be able to do that for whatever reason, right? And it's like, that's so
I've been
many
running since I
miles,
was
and she's been running
16
since she's 16.
or
This is her
earlier.
first time ever doing that.
Yeah.
That's so many miles. So you should be very proud of that. And
Thanks. I am very proud of that and just how my body has been holding up. And I feel like we had a good progression because I didn't, even once I started training for this, it wasn't just an automatic jump to 40-mile weeks. I mean, we started in
mhm,
the teens, the 20s, the 30s. I mean, even that progression took a couple months.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and all the things outside. I've been going to acupuncture every 1 to 2 weeks right now, staying on top of massages,
Hmm.
fueling, been proud of my
Strength.
sleep, strength. It's all the things again that I've learned with ultra training that are super important. I'm just applying all of that to this. And it just looks it's more of just like the terrain looks a little different. But yeah, I've been having a blast and I'm definitely excited to see what happens with grandma's.
What are you going to run at grandma's?
A 3:30 or under.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I have it. So 3:30 marathon is 8-minute
I'm so excited to
pace.
pace this. This is going to be a freaking
Um,
blast.
I know it's gonna hurt.
You,
I'm very aware
Schwarm,
of that,
Hannah, and I are
but
going to just be like freaking Avengers out there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get into just, like, steady state. Um, I'm excited because the last couple years of grandma's half, I've felt super good. I've PR'd those the last couple of years. I love the course. There's gonna be so many people out there. I'm gonna have I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna have a very good mindset because there's gonna be a lot of people that I know too, and it's friendly competition, right? And the last couple of years, I guess more of the last year, I've been getting into the more of the past gap berry mentality, and I did that during actually the winery run a couple weeks ago too. I passed somebody and I was like, "Pass. Now gap them. Now bury them." And I wanna carry that into grandma's now. So,
Kaylee also won a race recently.
my first one ever, first female. Al won it outright, first male, and yeah, it was pretty fun. Never have I ever been first female in a race before. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. It was hard too. It was basically a trail race. I was very sore after that day because I combined it with a long run.
Yeah,
It's
you did like
hard.
14 miles, like 8 plat pace or some shit.
And it turns out where were we in Waconia?
Mhm.
It's very hilly out there.
So hilly.
I got 1,300 feet of vert in 13 miles, which I was not expecting. So, yes, that was very fun. Another one that Jacob helped pace me for. Um, yeah.
Next update.
Next update, wedding. We already kind of talked about this at the beginning and how hopefully you'll say yes at the altar.
Yeah, and I want to do an episode before the week, on the week of, and then right afterwards to talk all about the wedding and how we're feeling. But updates there. I feel like we've got pretty much everything done. I need my pants and a jacket or
We
a
booked our
vest,
honeymoon.
and we
That's
need a
fun.
couple signs. But I feel like we have a few little things left, and then yeah, just dealing with that last minute like drama things that we don't need to get into because if you've gotten married, you probably know about all that. And if you haven't, you've probably
It's
heard about all of that. So
it's
it's all true.
wild.
Everything everyone says is true.
I didn't think I'd be dealing with any of
I'm gonna leave it
this.
at that.
It's the people that you least expect to. But yeah, less 31 days
Yeah,
and we're
I'm
gonna be
freaking
married.
stoked.
I'm gonna be an ope.
Yay.
Crazy. Yeah, we got our marriage certificate. It's the first thing that has Kaylee Oak on it. Yeah, but we'll give some more updates as we get closer.
I love how we just talked about like our fitness for like 35 minutes and then our wedding the rest of our lives was like 2.
We really love each other. Yeah, I'm excited to get married.
Yeah, we love each other. We're excited to get married. You're gonna get a whole episode on this.
And I
There's the
can't wait to
update.
run a marathon after.
Yeah, I'm like curious how you're juggling that, but I think we can even save that for another time because yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun. Um, Something that's very exciting that
This
just
is super sick.
happened a couple days ago. I feel like we are, I, according to the statistics, I think we are very rare with this. But as of Monday, we're debt free.
Yay! And we combined our
So
finances.
we combined our finances, and since
We're
Jacob
really
gave me
doing
all
this
of
thing.
his
This is kind of a
money, I
wedding
paid
update.
off all of my debt since he's my sugar daddy now.
Yeah,
Um, just kidding.
you're the doctor.
I was actually debt free before Jacob. Just kidding.
That's true.
But yeah, student loans, and yeah, we've been working really hard on that.
So we're debt free, which means but turns out even if you're debt free and make well above the
minimum wage.
no
What did it say?
the average, whatever the United States average salary is. I don't remember what it is, but if you make above that, you still can't get a house. So that's where we're at.
It's so true though.
So make sense to me, but maybe next year.
Doesn't
That's
matter what
probably
your
a time.
credit score is. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter that you're debt
exceptional
free.
credit, make good money on according to
Pretty decent people.
Google and the averages in the world. Pretty decent people, debt free, no loan for you. So There you go.
Debt free, yay! Go America. Um, yeah, I wasn't sure if we were gonna share that, but I think that's very exciting because
I think we can share it. It's our podcast.
it's our podcast and we're very proud of it. And like I said, have worked very hard.
Yeah.
So, and then on that note, any business updates for you?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got new merch.
Woo!
We got new Boco hats. You can see there's a little string here. It doesn't do anything, but it looks cool. We got new socks, Oak Endurance, and then it says we get to do this across the back.
Great for running
They're
and working out.
comfy,
I
good
wore
for
them
running. They're Boco.
my last couple of runs. They're awesome.
Boco's a great brand. And we got new shoe bags. And before you think you don't need a shoe bag, let me tell you why you need a shoe bag. I went on a trip this past October to a deserty place for the Javelina race. It was Leave No Trace. I was trying to continue the rhyme thing going. It wasn't working. And my shoes got so dusty. And I just really wish I would have had a shoe bag in that moment because I traveled home with those shoes in my clothes. Clothes were all ruined by the time I got home. If I had an Oak Endurance branded shoe bag in that moment, they would have been fine. And I would still have those clothes to this day. But 50% of that story was a lie. But the other 50% was true. So
They're actually super nice to have shoe
but
bags.
they're legit so nice to have. And they're like $10. So hats 25, shoe bags $10, socks $10. That's a pretty big update. The other update is yeah, the business is doing incredible. January was a record month. March was a record month. January was a record month. March was a record month, and April was a record month. So rock and roll.
Snaps.
Pretty stoked about that. And I think in May and June, even though I'm going to be off for a total of like a week and a half in each month, I think I could be wrong. I'm going to hit what I averaged last year per month in both those months still. I
Great.
think, which is pretty nuts. So that's cool.
It's amazing.
Pretty stoked about that. And I did lose my first book to someone. I gave a book away. That was very sad. I'll leave it at that. You can ask me in person about that. But don't loan books out to people you meet for the first time. And
Rip.
And other than that, man, clients right now are freaking killing it. And I'm having a blast. Yeah, I'm lucky as hell. So thank you all. How's your business going? Because
Thank you all.
she every month is like, babe, I just booked like 20 clients more than I booked last month. And now I have a pretty much year-long wait list. So
If you want to see me in 2026, you better get on the year-long wait list. No, not actually a year long. Yeah, having a lot of we get to do this moments lately. I am booked for the next 2.5 weeks.
that's ridiculous.
Thank you. Very, very proud of that. Yeah, I'm hitting all of my goals right now for where I want to be with the amount of people that I'm seeing. And I just feel really grateful for where I'm at because could I be working 6 days a week? Potentially, but I don't want to. And that's the fun thing about being a business owner is you get to set your hours, how many people you want to see when you work. And I'm very proud of the boundaries that I've put up and just seeing a ton of fun people in practice right now. I feel like this time of year is just extra fun because of the people that are all like getting back into spring races and with grandmas coming up and just having a ton of fun conversations with people and helping people continue doing what they love. I think that the universe really wants me to be the plantar fasciitis acupuncturist right now because that's like what I'm seeing multiple times a day. And I'm okay with that. It's great for the business. I feel bad for everyone with all their foot stuff, but the good news with acupuncture is that I don't believe in quick fixes most of the time, but with acupuncture, it works pretty quick. So it's fun seeing that. And yeah, it's been very fun. Very grateful.
Yeah, I'm stoked about where we're at right now. I feel like sometimes I feel weird about like coming on here and like bragging, but also it's for us as a time capsule to look back on. So,
And it's one of those,
and we also, I feel like, do a good job sharing our struggles too. And you're going to hear about them in a second. So, I think that as
yeah.
a society, you should brag on yourself a little bit more, but not like be an asshole either. So,
I think it's remembering where we came from too, and even talking about training and race times. We're with running and business, at least for me personally. I mean, I dreamed of being where I am right now. I
yeah,
never
I
thought
can't,
that I would get here.
no, I can't, like, I think about that so much, like, so much. Yeah.
And I'm coming up on it was exactly 3 years ago actually that I created my LLC on the state of Minnesota and with the IRS, got my
Sorry,
tax ID
3 years ago?
number 3 years ago, because it was right before we were talking at this time, but and then my first patient was Jacob, which was mid-May. So I'm very happy with where things are at in the last 3 years. I've been full-time in my business for about 13 months, 14 months now, and yeah, it's pretty crazy how far that we've both come.
Yeah, and I think it just boils down to just keep doing it. Keep
Yeah,
all of this stuff, like, it's nothing sexy, and the running and the business building, all of this is just like consistently showing up every day, doing the early mornings, doing the long days, and eventually you do this, like,
and not burning bridges.
and not burning bridges. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so thank you for
And
all of you.
all of that's also the unsexy part that is hard as hell. So,
What's one thing that you're struggling with?
why don't you go first?
Why? Fine. Um,
Do we have to pick just one? I feel like two things come to mind.
that's fine. It's our podcast.
F it.
I was thinking back to, unfortunately or fortunately, my New Year's goals and saying no. I still feel like that's just very hard for me when people ask to like hang out or go for a run or do something. I just want to do all of the things, and it's very hard for me to say no to stuff, even though I have a very long to-do list. But I don't know, I feel like it's always finding that balance of having fun, seeing people, friends, family. It's just it's tough. And I think especially this month with just extra things going on, there's always a bunch of things in the back of my mind about what I need to be doing, and it's hard.
You can play the I'm getting married card.
I know it's gonna be kind of sad when we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I feel like we should be able to play the
I
sorry,
just got married
I just got married and I have a business card.
and I'm super busy.
Someday we'll be able to use the sorry, it's the kids or I got a dog
That's the
card.
thing, right? We're always going to be busy.
Yeah.
It's the life we live,
So
as my dad
it's
says.
it's a good problem to have, but just continuously figuring out what to say yes and no to. 'Cause I like to do all of the things and I like to see all the people. What about you?
Well, I think number one is I it's a very stressful time, but it's a very happy time for us. And as we talked about yesterday, I think that I am struggling a little bit with taking out some of that stress and anger on you and I would like to not do that.
Same.
So what I have done in preparation for that is basically just shut down some work things and like the email. And then yesterday I like got way ahead on programs, so they're like done. Um, Telling back the schedule for May and played the I'm getting married card a lot. Took 3 weeks off around the wedding, things like that. But I also want to do it for myself. Not it's not just for you, obviously, but I want to do it for myself too. Um, so that I can just be less stressed and then take it out on you. Not like
Physically.
yeah. I just feel like I've been a little I've been a little chippy some nights.
We're also rewatching Euphoria because Jacob never watched it.
Yeah, I'm watching it for the first time, not rewatching.
I'm rewatching Euphoria, but I'm saying we're going back and we watched season 1 and we just finished season 2. And that show was just depressing. And both of us take on emotions a lot. So then by watching that, we're just like absorbing all of this like sadness and depression.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not helping.
I feel like I need to just settle down. I need to settle down. I have too like I'm just really anxious and revved up. And then like I end up just working and running or something because of it. But I think I'm doing a good job of recognizing that and like being more open to being present and actually like settling down and being like, you don't need to get everything done right now. In fact, you need to get nothing done right now. So
I think both of us are so used to being in the build and growth stage all the time. We talk about this all the time, I feel like, on here, but we just get caught in this like, how do I get more patients, more clients? How do I become better? And while all those things are important, there are certain times, like right now, that it's okay to not be sending weekly emails to people, like to the wider community, and to focus on the people that we do have and to put our time and effort into that versus growing even more outside of that. Because that gets exhausting. And even posting on social media, it's like we've worked really hard and to build what we have right now. Try it again.
I forget what the podcast is called. It's not super important. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how like when you hit a goal, anything below that then becomes failure. And I think that that's really hard too for me. Whether it's man, I mean, I think a lot of it's the business, right? So I think really more than anything, and I think I've wrapped my head around like not always hitting faster times or things like that in the fitness or hitting higher PRs and whatever. Like I've wrapped my head around that with fitness that I've gotten pretty content with where I'm at. And I think that I'm trying to do that with the business too now, but it's still hard. We're like, it's like record month. Now the next month has to be better. If it's not better than what it was, it's going to be a fail. Right. So I think I'm just trying to wrap my head around that, especially, taking time off in May and June. So, but I also think like April, I like at the beginning of the month was like in prep for May and June. I want to make as much money as possible and work as much as possible and help as many people as possible and run as much as possible and like all these things because then I'm gonna take time off and do all like less of that. And then it's like it doesn't need to be that. It doesn't need to be all or nothing. And like you like those things, you can still run around. Like it's not like I'm just not gonna run for 2 weeks around our wedding, things like that. Or like be helping people still. It's just gonna be less. So I think that I'm just wrapping my head around that. Um, So I think I'm doing a pretty decent job of it though. And so but I guess my biggest struggle. And then I'm also struggling a lot with food and my weight again right now. I don't really know why, but I am. So I think that that's a vulnerable thing worth mentioning. And the constant looks in the mirror, weighing myself, and things like that. It's hard, even though like you set a half marathon PR, and then you like beat yourself up because of the way you're eating, or um but I just get frustrated because I'm like, why does this scale say 209 pounds right now? Like, and it's not like the numbers even matter. I get that, but I'm also human. So I think that just like coaching myself through that and talking with different people about that stuff again a little bit as we head into the wedding, and trips for with swimming and things like that. It's just all those things kind of creep up a little bit heading into the summer. So I think I'm struggling with that a decent amount right now too, and I also think I'm doing a good job of handling that though too. So, but I think it's worth mentioning. So
Well,
those are my struggles.
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. What is your we get to do this moment? I want to go first.
I wanna go. Just kidding. You can go.
We probably have the same one.
Go ahead.
Oh, you go.
Jacob, go.
Kaylee, go.
You're making this awkward. Go ahead. You said you wanted to go.
Well, my we get to do this moment is marrying you this month. And it's gonna be my we get to move this moment, I think, forever. Now.
Is there a reaction button on here?
I'm just really excited.
I'm really excited to marry you too, Jacob. We're officially in wedding month. It's coming up quick.
Yeah. I am excited too. We're recording a podcast the week of the wedding and then right after the honeymoon. And I'm pumped to do. I'm just really excited to okay, we're 3 days out. How you feeling? And then, okay, we did it. How are we feeling? I think that's gonna be such a cool time capsule for us.
I feel like that's gonna come up fast too. We're talking about this, being a month out right now, and it's gonna come up before we know it. We're gonna be sitting down recording that. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
We're doing the thing. I love you.
I love you. Oh, and when we went and celebrated our wedding month on the 1st, that was really fun.
Yeah, we went to Billy's Sushi, and that place is fire. If you have not been in North Loop, Minneapolis, the sushi's phenomenal. Very much what we get to do this moment. All right.
What's
Well,
yours?
wedding.
You didn't say that.
I said we get to do this. My we get to do this moment is that I get to marry the love of my life
That's
in
me.
less than a month.
I just wanted to hear it again.
And and if I had to do a second one, just all the people that I've been getting to introduce to acupuncture lately, and just the results people have been getting. It's an honor to be able to share the medicine with people and get people back to running and back to the things they love in life. I get to do this every day.
Episode 90 of the We Get to Do This pod is a wrap. We've got a lot of amazing guests that are getting released and already are scheduled for the next 2 months here. They're going to be amazing. I'm super psyched. All the conversations are really fun. I feel like we're hitting our stride a lot with conversing with people. Conversating with people.
Think.
Here's the thing. We have an idea for the 100th episode about doing it potentially in person, Q&A. If you are listening and you have a location that we could come do it at, 1, that'd be cool. 2, the other thing is if you're listening and interested, we would love to hear that. So comment or text us or something to let us know you're interested. And then 3, if you're listening and you have not liked the show or subscribed to it, we are getting, I don't know, at least half people that are listening to this podcast right now, according to the metrics that we've looked at, aren't subscribed / liking the podcast. Y'all, it helps so much. So please go do that. Leave us a review, leave us or subscribe. That would help us so much. So thank you. Episode 90.
Thanks for being here and listening, y'all. We appreciate you.
Wow, Kaylee, we made it through another episode. What do you think?
We would love if you would go give us a follow, a 5-star review, and comment on the episode and what you liked and what you'd like to see more of.
See you next time.
We get to do this.